if I had to choose, I mean,
It's pretty good.
But dude, yeah, seriously, I was literally talking to a friend of mine, and she's kind of into movies, but like not like we are.
Yeah.
But she had never seen Star Wars, and I said, okay, I recommend just watch 4, 5, and 6, and then watch 1, 2, and 3. And then you're done. I said, and then you're done.
Don't do it
Don't
anymore.
even watch anything after that.
It's done.
I was like, you're good. Like, just leave it at that. Even 1 through 3 has some weird stuff, midi-chlorians and just other weird stuff that don't make
Yeah,
no sense.
don't think
But
about it too hard.
Don't think about it too hard, and then just stop after episode 3. And then you're good. And just leave it like that. But
you could watch Rogue One or Mandalorian. Those are
those don't watch Solo.
But any
We'll
more
get into
mainline ones don't do
Yeah.
it, or Solo. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do at some point. We're gonna do all of these, and I guess once we get them all together, we can make a Star Wars playlist so you can just watch through the Star Wars stuff. But
Man.
but yeah, but when it comes to the Rise of Skywalker, I don't think I've ever been like. It's hard to remember another movie that I watched in theaters that I was so disappointed in when I left. It's hard to remember being that disappointed. I think one of John Cena's earliest movies, The Marine. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Oh God, no, I haven't. I have heard terrible things. That and it's the one with Scorpion, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
That's
What was that one with Nick Cage and the bees?
Oh God,
The bees, and he's screaming with the bees on his head.
Yeah,
That one was also, I was like, what the? But anyways,
all great movie. Ghost Rider. The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Name any other Nick Cage movie.
I love you, Nick Cage. Please come on our podcast sometime.
I love Nick Cage. He is in my opinion, of all of the actors in Hollywood, I feel like he has it the easiest. Because let's be real, he could be at any movie at any time, and nobody gives a fuck. They will pay him. He will do it. He could just be himself the entire time.
Well, he made a whole movie about just being himself. And it was amazing.
It was very self-aware, and it's so good.
Yeah. What's not good, back to the point, is Rise of Skywalker.
Here's a big plot hole that you haven't brought up yet. If Force ghosts can hold objects, why won't they fight?
Yeah. Good point.
There's no
Force
stakes
ghosts,
for them.
Why won't you fight?
Luke was holding a lightsaber, a real lightsaber, as a Force ghost, and
Could you imagine if they Lord of the Rings that stuff and all the Force ghosts came out to fight?
You get Endgame. Could
you imagine?
Final fight? Yeah,
How
that
much
would have been if they're gonna do it. I mean, do it. You know.
She said all of the Jedi are in me. I was like, why do they have to be in you? Why can't they just be next to you with a lightsaber?
Why don't they
using
Avatar
Force?
the Last Airbender? Your ancestors are disappointed in you, and you will suffer the consequences of your actions.
Yeah.
While Palpatine's just staring at all these ghosts, is like, I'm too old. I'm too old for this.
Yeah, I think he's like, I need to retire. I'm tired of fighting the Jedi. They're annoying. But you know, I just gotta say, like, to me, the whole movie felt aimless, and it just felt so like. Again, it was just so fan servicing, so focused on just undoing everything The Last Jedi did, that it's just like such a bad. I mean, like, it's very hard to find, like, and a lot of people who hate The Last Jedi, come on, if you hate The Last Jedi, you have to admit that throne room scene fight was freaking amazing. When
was the
freaking
coolest part of the movie.
Rey tosses the lightsaber and Kylo catches it and like turns it on into the guy's head, like I was like, come on, that's freaking so cool.
I do remember being in the movie theater and being disappointed with the movie overall, and I was like, yeah, this scene makes it all worth it.
Sometimes that helps a lot for me.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There's a great payoff.
But where was that scene? I guess was it Palpatine doing the lighting? I don't know if there was a scene that was just like, whoa, this is so freaking cool. Like, everything just seemed kind of. I mean, the Knights of Ren didn't do anything cool. I mean, what's his name? Oscar Isaac's Poe.
Poe Dameron.
His girlfriend really didn't get to do anything. Like,
No.
she was like, whoa, she was there for a second, like, and then all of a sudden she's gone and don't matter. Like, where'd she go? You know, there's just so much stuff that's like, oh, the Dark Ray.
Yeah,
she has
the,
a
like
vision
12
of,
seconds that they used for the trailer too, with the double lightsaber.
oh yeah, I was like, whoa, I was like, that's got to be freaking cool. Like,
Yeah.
no, nothing happened with that.
Yeah, it's just a vision.
Dude, you know what I would have loved to have seen if they actually like went down that path a little bit. You know what I thought would have been a really cool thing?
What?
The juxtaposition
Oh yeah.
of Rey and Kylo.
Yeah, where they
because
switch.
he's always struggling with the light side, the
Yeah.
pull from the light side. And what if Kylo is the one who had to save Rey from the dark side? You know what I mean? Like, oh, that would have been freaking cool. Like,
So,
but I don't know.
We can talk about the what I wanted from the third.
Go
one.
for it.
Because
let's do it now.
the thing that made me so pumped about The Last Jedi was that it set up a really good. Okay, so there could be an argument that the prequels are heavily discussing and focusing on the Sith, right? The dark side, and the things that lead people to the dark side, and what it's basically the false injustice that lead people to darkness.
I would say even the faults of the Jedi that lead people
Right,
to the
yeah,
dark
yeah.
side. Yeah.
That the Jedi too are imperfect and unjust.
And I would argue creating their own problem with the Sith.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're because of their I guess it's like a religion. Their lack of flexibility in their
Right,
religion.
yeah.
That they really push, which mirrors real life as well.
It does.
So
And then you have the original trilogy that focuses on the Jedi, the light side, if you will, and the struggles that they go through to try to keep the balance between the two. And what I was really excited about is The Last Jedi, is that at the end we have Kylo and Rey fighting with each other.
yeah.
And I was so excited to see a third movie which talks about the balance.
Right.
I would have loved to watch Kylo and his struggle to understand what makes him good.
Yeah.
Also, like, reach out to Rey and go, I know you're suffering too, and it's because we're both right. And the only way that it's going to end is if we both end it.
Yeah.
And have them both have to go through and have Rey try to stop the resistance from fighting, and have Kylo take down his empire, essentially, and watch them both in this movie, watch people not understand that they can just stop the suffering from both sides.
Yeah.
And the part of the balance that is the hard part is they both have to kill them. It's if you're not with me, if you're not with me, you're against me.
Yeah. Dude, I would love almost any other movie or outcome than what we got. So
That's
like,
fair.
So like, because I imagine something like that. Like, oh, Rey, she's really struggling with this pull to the dark. Kylo's really struggling with this pull to light. What a cool thing if they switched positions and now Kylo's our man and Rey's the bad guy that we've got.
Yeah.
Or they just have a fight to the death and like, man, hopefully, like the good one wins. Maybe there's a change of heart at the last minute. If Rey's being pulled to the dark side, she kills Kylo and she's like, oh crap, what have I done? Like, and then she's like, no, this is also wrong. And like, hey, I'm a good guy again. I don't care. Like almost any idea. I mean, I could go to a middle school and ask a freaking, I don't know what middle school age kids are. 11 years old, 12 years old. Hey, come up with a movie with the Star Wars. Have you seen Star Wars? Make them watch Star Wars. Come up with a movie, and I would probably rather watch that kid's idea for for the Rise of Skywalker. To be honest,
I think the CinemaSins joke, the Everything Wrong With series.
Shout out to CinemaSins.
Yeah, I love them. I think the joke that they made was JJ made the first draft of the script and then gave it to a bunch of high school filmmakers to edit.
Bro, you know what I heard? I heard that like there was just. Like Disney really didn't have any idea. They were just like hired somebody and said, "Okay,
They
go."
didn't care.
Yeah, go. And that to me is a bad idea, especially when you have a franchise as beloved.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, very few movie franchises have made a cultural impact as much as like Star Wars has. Like from the moment that it first came out in theaters, it's had such a cultural impact and it's left such a big cultural mark in the lives of just people like me. Like I grew up watching them, for free on TV when they came on, because they were all made before I was born, but like, or most of them. And so it's like knowing the original trilogy and then when the next ones came out, I was like, oh crap, I can't believe this is real.
Yeah.
And then I was just so excited. The Force Awakens, I was like, dude, another Star Wars. It's like so exciting.
And that Disney had the thing with the most money in the world has the ability to make whatever they want. Yeah.
Surely. And they just, the thing is, it's just like most things in life is you get too greedy and you're gonna end up fumbling the ball. And I think that's what they just saw the money signs. They didn't care how they just needed to put out movies. And I think the Star Wars trilogy, the 7, 8, and 9, as well as movies like Solo, really showed them that like, hey, you can't just print money off of Star Wars crap. We care about it too much, and it needs to be good, or we're not going to want it.
I think there were a lot of missed opportunities and misunderstandings because I firmly believe that Rian Johnson was like, yeah, we could make a Star Wars movie that would empower more people and would like. Basically what midichlorians did in the prequels was told everybody, hey, actually you will never be a Jedi because you don't have what it takes. Yeah. And Rian Johnson was trying to give the like, raise a nobody. It doesn't matter where she came from.
Yeah.
These kids who have Force abilities, that could be you. Anybody can be a hero. Anybody can be a hero.
It's in you to make a change.
What is a more marketable thing than literally any of you can be a hero? And on the same terms, my idea of you talk about more of the balance. Cool. White lightsabers are a thing now. They're the balance. Go sell those. I'd buy 7 of them, you know?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Well, hey, let's not forget about the dark sabers too, okay? Black
I
lightsabers.
Love the dark sabers. They're so cool.
Not just white lightsabers, okay? We care about all the colored lightsabers.
Have you seen them? They're so cool.
All colored lightsabers matter.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, no, for sure. I think, and isn't there something to be said about, because Rey's lightsaber at the end was yellow. Isn't there something, I forget what
for what
the
purpose?
Color, I forget what the yellow color means, but
I can look it up.
Look it up. But yeah, that being said, it's just kind of like a lot of the stuff that you can tell that it's aimless. There's not like a strong plot. Like, so last week we did, didn't we do Everything Everywhere All at Once? Was our last one that we did?
Yes.
The last video that we recorded. If you haven't seen that one yet, go watch it. If you haven't seen that movie, go watch it first because it's one of the most amazing movies I've ever seen. In stark contrast to this one, there's no strong like through line, a plot point.
Oh yeah, there's nothing to for the ground
the movie. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, oh, let's bring back Lando because hey, he's cool and people know him. Like, right? Like that's what I'm saying is the fan service is just like, oh, here's Lando, here's this. There's no consequences. There's no theme. There's no.
They even brought back Han.
Oh yeah, that's true.
For like 2 seconds, just be like, hey son. The yellow lightsaber, by the way, end quote. Hold on. Indicates a Jedi Sentinel, a Jedi who has honored his or her skills in a balance of combat and scholarly pursuits. It means that she's emotionally detached and is tasked with guarding the Jedi Order.
Interesting.
Which also makes no sense because there are none.
Yeah, and like, and what you mentioned about like having like what Rian Johnson was trying to do, which was like anybody can be it. The end of the Rise of Skywalker literally spits in the face of that by when that lady says like, well, Rey, what? Like, what's your family name?
Yeah,
or
Skywalker.
Yeah, like. Why are you identifying with these people that you barely know? Like,
it's not only that, is what honor is in the name anymore.
Exactly. So it's just kind of like, I mean, I don't know. It really is just, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, you have to, so what it's kind of saying is like, you have to be associated with a name that matters. Mm-hmm. I mean, not to get too like,
a good
into the
good
real world
name is better chosen than good wealth.
Yeah, but like, so what that statement is like, it's better to have a good reputation. Like,
right, and she already made one for herself.
Yeah.
So why does she need to take someone else.
Yeah, I think that to me, now you want to get into like, oh, you're reading too much into stuff. But like in our real world, that is actually a huge deal. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff in the news in Hollywood about nepotism and stuff like that because you're associated with an actor or a director or something. That's why they're getting all these roles, and
Which is starting to break down, by the way, and it's wonderful.
yeah, and then
Love seeing it dismantle.
But even in outside of Hollywood, like that's just I mean, it's not about sometimes it's not about how good you are. It's about who you know. And if you know somebody, then you can get privileged positions and privilege just extra stuff that other people don't have access to just because you know somebody. Not because you deserve it, not because you've earned it, but because you know somebody. And I think that's the opposite story that Ryan was trying to tell.
Yeah.
And I think that's what JJ left us with, and that doesn't sit well with me.
JJ's is the classic Hollywood. You have to know somebody to get in, and Rand's is it doesn't matter who you know. If you can prove to somebody you're worth it, you are.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, that's another thing,
which is great.
Yeah, I think
great lesson.
I think we're going to have to do The Last Jedi breakdown as well because we keep referencing it. Because here's the thing,
this is good.
Okay, because it
wasn't great, but it was good.
Yeah, the first movie's a wash because it's a copy and paste.
Yeah.
Now these are the last two movies are in direct contrast to each other because they're right next to each other and they're in conflict with each other actually because I feel like Rian Johnson was trying to do something and JJ just took it away because the fans were crying about it.
Rian said, "I'm going to challenge your story," and JJ went,
"How dare you?" That's what he said. But like, think about it, guys. Like, actually think about it. Like, I love so much that I just love so much. I remember watching some reviews and stuff, and I remember in The Last Jedi when Luke was about to burn the Jedi Temple with the Last Jedi books, and then Yoda just shows up and
does it.
He's like, "Do it, bro."
I love that.
He's like, "Do it, bro. You won't? Yeah. I'll do it." And he freaking then
that was such a good moment too.
And he was like, "But the Jedi text." He's like, "Oh yeah, you've read the text
because it matters."
He's like, "You've read the text, have you?" And he was like, "Well, no." And he's like,
"Then what's the point?"
Exactly. And can I tell? So even that has
the wise nihilism is what that was. That was you're pretending that this matters.
Or you're defending something that you don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, and I'll make a real world comparison. Like a lot of religions, I'm not pooping on all religions. I'm a religious person. I literally just went to church today. But I'm just saying that, like, I also recognize the hypocrisy in some of the things within my religion as well as others.
Oh, yeah.
And one of those is, you care so much to defend this thing, but you've never even read it. You don't understand it.
Yep.
And so many people stand up and defend whatever they believe in, no matter what it is, whether it's a religion or not, or just an ideology, political ideology, gender ideology, whatever it is that you believe in, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me that you believe the way that you do sometimes, but what I do care about is in what ways are you choosing to defend your statement? Does it make any sense at all? And that's what bothers me. And to be honest with you, Yoda, who's like, it's like as Jedi as they come, right? You think, well, he either after he passed or even before that was wise enough to know that, like, look, man, let's be honest. You haven't read these things. You're defending something that you don't know about, that you haven't studied. So, like, why? Who cares? And I love that about that because he's calling out the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And he says, look, you haven't even read these books. So whether they're here or not, what does it matter to you? You know what I mean?
You could also make the argument that it also is the why are you so quick to defend something that you don't understand when you would defend yourself?
Yeah.
Is he's had this whole like crisis of self this entire time.
Yeah.
In hiding behind the idea that he is the Jedi at this point, and he's clinging so hard onto that he doesn't know who he is. He tried to kill Kylo at a young age. He brought all of these people up, and for what?
Yeah.
And he doesn't have the strength to defend himself and who he is. Until the moment that he does in the Rise of Skywalker. But
well, that's the thing too. That's the cool thing that I liked about The Last Jedi is like a real human experience.
Yeah.
He made some decisions. They went bad, whether it was his fault or not, which it kind of was in some ways, he had to deal with the repercussions of that. The repercussions are, man, he got depressed and he was like, dude, I'm gonna like isolate myself away, which is a real life thing. It's a great commentary on depression and just dealing with failure, personal failure, failures that impact other people, impact the galaxy in his case with the Jedi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so to see him in The Last Jedi makes so much sense. But then again, with the Rise of Skywalker, he comes in and just, dude, I was almost, to be honest with you, I was like on the verge of anger almost when I was watching the Rise of Skywalker. And I was wrong. I was like, man, shut up. You were experiencing real life stuff.
Yeah.
Like like even Mark Hamill, he said like, oh, well, I know Luke and he wouldn't, this is just, okay, look, he's a human, like he's kind of a human being, whatever he is, and wherever he is. Hey, full-time movie fans, thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you had a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We want to hang out and discuss the movie with you. So don't forget to do that below. Have a good one. I hope your day is everything you dreamed it'd be and more.